Last of the Dragonlords by Fluttershy 20, Chapter 14. When the sun rose the next morning, it rose in a reddish color, painting the sky blood a few hours before restoring back to its natural blue. The day was a beautiful one, sky clear blue, with white puffy clouds dotted here and there, while a gentle breeze kept the tall green grass and trees flowing like they were dancing. Fluttershy, upon feeling the warmth hit her coat, opened her eyes. She raised her head and let out a long yawn, scratched a small itch on the neck or near her hoof. The revelations she learned from the night had left her in a mixed mood. She was glad and happy to learn about her mother, the events of what brought her to the orphanage. At the same time, she felt a pang of sorrow go through her at the thought of how much pain her father had been in for almost 20 years. She looked over his sleeping form and began thinking of a way to cheer him up, to bond with him properly. Sure, she was getting on with her newfound father well, but they never truly bonded, like fathers and daughters should, as they were too busy seeing the world. She hoped it would change either today, or when they returned to Ponyville as father and daughter. She tiptoed over where fire-wing salad bags were and opened them. She looked inside to find some small eggs, chicken ones she realized. She picked them up in her hooves and ready to fire. "Sorry about this," she said to the eggs as she took a sharp rock, cracked the first one open. The egg white and yellow spilling out of the shell into a small firewing had. After cracking the second one, she began building up the fire once more. With a flat rock for a stool, she placed the frying pan in the middle. Soon the fire was raging and the eggs were burning nicely, much to her delight. While she waited for the eggs to fry, she lay down in the grass and watched to listen to the crackle of flames. It wasn't long before she heard the sniffling nose of her father begin to stir. "Morning, Dad," she greeted him with a smile. Firewing sniffed the air a few more times before replying, "Moving for the side." He stretched out his legs, then walked closer to the fire, inspecting the eggs. "Why, they look lovely." "Oh, the eggs? Do you like it like that?" Firewing nodded with a lick of his lips. Fluttershy got up, walked over to the campfire, and took out the frying pan on the rock. "Do you have any plates?" Firewing nodded and indicated to his saddlebags. "I don't understand though," he said as Fluttershy walked over and brought two plates out. "What's this about?" "No reason, really," Fluttershy said, voice muffled by the plates in her mouth. "I just wanted to do something nice for you, being my dad and all." She set the plates out in the grass. "And we may not get a chance like it for a long time." "Tiki, tiki, tiki! You will put the guns down!" After a moment of silence, Firewing nodded, and settled down next to the plates. Fluttershy took the frying pan in her mouth and placed both eggs on his plate. What's the Firewing's surprise? "You're not having the eggs." Fluttershy shook her head. "No, I don't eat them. I only eat things that are grown out of the ground and not in Nurse's belly." "A picky eater then." Fluttershy nodded, making Firewing chuckle. "The dear ponies at the orphanage must have loved you." "He did, actually. He always said how polite I was compared to the other girls and fillies. He taught me how to cook as well," Fluttershy said with pride. Firewing rolled his eyes and set about eating his eggs. Fluttershy, meanwhile, got a hold of some edible flowers to have for her breakfast. The two ate their meals in silence. The only sounds around were a bird singing, the high whistle of the gentle breeze, and the sounds of ponies eating. "I have to say, Firefly," Firewing says he finished the last of his eggs, "I've never in my 100 years had eggs that good. What is your secret?" "I didn't do anything at all," Fluttershy said with a shrug. A small blush as compliment. "I just placed them on the frying pan and let them fry." "Well, if your cooking is this good, can't wait to see what it's like in Ponyville." "Hey, I'm not doing all the cooking, mister," Fluttershy said with a certain and pointing a hoof. "You can forget that. You're going to have it easy because of me." Fluttershy leaning closer whispered, "It'll be very hard indeed." Firewing seemed to go pale, as his eyes shrunk from Fluttershy's fearful gaze. Eventually, Fluttershy couldn't hold it anymore, started laughing. "You should see the look on your face. Priceless," she said between heavy bursts of laughter. Firewing just lay there stunned. Once Fluttershy stopped laughing, she stood up and gave a sharp nod of her head. "That was for yesterday." Firewing started laughing as well. "Okay, you got me. Let's get packed to get on the move. We have a big day in front of us. We need to cover the ground fast." Fluttershy nodded, set out putting out the fire. It took a while as he couldn't beat it down with her hooves, and had to smother it with some water from a lake nearby. At worst, he went to the bathroom, and by the time she was ready, Firewing had his saddlebags packed. What did Fluttershy? Fluttershy gave a quick nod. All right, I believe to get to Ramshed, we need to go that way. He pointed towards where the lake was, and find the old Horsecound Road. Make our way along that, and in 3 or 4 days, maybe less, we should be in Ramshead Rays. Let's go. Reared up, Winnie proceeded to get off to the trees. Fluttershy did the same, and soon caught up with him. So, you stole the princess's pet bird, Firewing exclaimed. The two had been walking around for about an hour now, and had decided to tell each other stories of their adventures, or misadventures in most cases. Fluttershy already told her of the near destruction of Ponyville by Parasprites, and Firewing had told her when he met a Basilisk, and how he was nearly killed by the great eyes by the reptile.
I wouldn't say stolen, more borrowed without permission.
Fluttershy said with a little nod.
When I first met Philomena, I thought the poor thing was sick and needed healing, so I took her back to my cottage and used every treatment I know to try and make her feel better. But none of them worked.
No, I'm surprised you weren't thrown into dungeon for such a thing.
The princess was very understanding in the end. We never would have done such a thing in the first place. I knew that, but my friend Violet was beginning to panic a little, wanted to take any alternatives, and everything turned out all right.
Yes, I know the story quite well, actually.
You do?
Firewing nodded. Oh, yes. When I was in Canterlot, the princess, after introduced me to the Phoenix, said that once a Pegasus pony from Ponyville tried to kill her when she was at the end of one of her life cycles. She never said your name, I think due to some coincidental thing or another. But if she did, we might have met sooner. Fluttershy laughed.
Funny how things turned out like that.
Yeah, it would have been. Firewing chuckled. Now, would you like to know my encounter with a 10-headed Hydra? Fluttershy's eyes widened.
There's such a creature?
Firewing nodded.
I only encountered a 4-headed Hydra.
Well, a 10-headed Hydra is far bigger than a 4-headed one, and far deadlier. Firewing went on. It was a simple routine tour I did that was my last before going into retirement. 2 others and me were on a large swamplands in the far west after we received reports of cattle and sheep disappearing from the area. Anyway, we arrived at the swamplands and looked around for any sign of missing cattle. After a while, as Firestone talked, Fireside ears perked up at their highest, eyes glancing at the trees around her. Shh, she whispered. The Hydra started changing, so we decided to get to the air to get.
Dad, be quiet, please.
Firewing stopped and looked at Fluttershy in a offended manner. Did you just tell me to be quiet?
Sorry, but listen.
Fluttershy's and Firewing's ears perked up right. He listened hard. After a while, he said, I can't hear anything.
It's just it. There's nothing. Not even a bird song.
Fireshide's breathing began to go a little bit faster. Firewing's eyes widened as he realized Fireside was right. The birds had been singing so loud since the two had started had gone quiet. But they couldn't sing anymore. Gentle light breeze kept the trees swaying, but that was it. Nothing. So the whole world's population had disappeared. And Fluttershy and Firewing were the only ones left. Fluttershy began to feel the butterflies in her stomach flare up, trying to escape something they knew was coming, but couldn't. She inched closer to her father until their sides were touching. Firewing's head darted from left to right, looking for whatever could have caused the birds and animals to make flight like this. Certainly it wasn't them, since he'd been walking for an hour or so. So who, or what? Looked down to see Fluttershy outside, beginning to sink in fear. He had his head down and nuzzled the side of her face. It's okay, Fluttershy. I'm here. Fluttershy gave him a little smile and started to look for whatever had caused the silence. Her heart dropped to her stomach, and her nerves slipped at her thunderous snore. Dragon! Firewing exclaimed. Quick, back the way we came! Gave Fluttershy a nod and set her forward. With a squeak, Firewing and from Fluttershy, the two began galloping back the way they came. Fluttershy looked behind her to see the dragon. He gasped hard once he recognized it.
It's the same dragon.
Fluttershy called to Firewing.
It's the one that attacked Delucia.
Firewing's eyes widened even further. Let's back to get a good look at his enemy. the one that wanted his daughter dead. The dragon was big, dark green scales that were darker than the leaves and the trees around him, long spiky tail, razor-sharp claws, and a fierce growling head. Darn it! Why can't we ever get a metallic dragon just this once? While dotted across his bodies were small crossbow bolts, graces from sword slashes. But his eyes went to start firing the most. They were literally fire. The dragon was flying at a diagonal pattern across the forest, seeking out the two ponies that were the last of the Dragonlord order. Upon noticing Fluttershy, Firewing, running through the forest path, without a deafening roar, it swung about, flew as fast as it could towards him, mouth drooling in hunger. Firewing looked forward once more, saw a clear opening in the woods. Fluttershy, follow me! He shouted to her before darting into the woods. Fluttershy looked back, saw the dragon was now close. Too close. It went to pick her up with his claws. Before good, though, she skidded into the woods after her father, the dragon only picking up dirt. The dragon soared back up into the sky and hovered above the woods, searching for any sign of the two ponies, but couldn't find any. It bellowed in fire and frustration towards the trees, setting him alight. Fluttershy looked back and saw the trees being ignited one by one.
What's it trying to do?
Firewing wondered if it thinks it could put us out. It's got another thing coming. Just as he spoke, one of the trees gave way and collapsed to the ground with a heavy thud, just inches away from them.
I don't think he wants to burn us out.
Fire said, correcting her father.
I think he wants to crush us.
Then run! Firewing spun around, set off away from the dragon, and now raging forest fire. Fluttershy was close behind. The two looked back to see the distance between them and the dragon had widened. They began to relax a little. The two came out into the woods, and in front of a small gorge, waiting from them back into the highlands. The ears pricked once again to hear the roars of the dragon that had gone louder, mustered an alarm. Closer. Quick, into the gorge! Firewing yelled. Fluttershy jumped down first and slid down the slope of the gorge, saying,
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness,
over and over again. She made to the bottom and waited for her father to come down after him. Come on,
Dad.
Firewing stood there.
We gotta hide.
Fluttershy, listen to me, Firewing said. We'll stay down there and out of sight. We'll try to take that dragon off our backs. It won't be long, I promise. He took off his sword bracelet and threw down the wide-eyed Pegasus. Here, keep a hold of this until I return. With that, darted out of sight and galloped away.
Daddy, wait, please don't leave me.
Fluttershy yelled, but he was already gone. Leaving Fluttershy alone again. Fluttershy ran up to the sword bracelet. Replaced the one on her right leg into her left one. Replaced the bracelet on her right leg.
Don't worry,
She said to the bracelet.
your master will return. My father will return. I know he will. I'm sure of it.
She heard the dragon ring out another terrific roar. Roar! So her heart stopped for a few minutes before realizing it was moving away from her. She moved over a wall to the gorge, and backed up to a ball that was shaking violently with fear. She wished she had one of her teddy bears with her to be comforted by. Better still, her father. Suddenly, there was silence. The dragon had gone, and with it, Firewing. First I began to hope Firewing knew the way back. He hadn't gotten lost, or devoured by the dragon.
Stop thinking those thoughts, Fluttershy.
She screamed at herself.
It's gonna come back to me. You'll see. And Amelia will appear down that slope there. We join together, you see.
Minutes passed, and there was still no sign of her father. Smoke from the forest fire began to cloud over the sun, dulling it. On the other side of the gorge, the birds had returned, studying to sing their midday songs. Fluttershy usually found them comforting, but now she couldn't. Every second that passed without any sign of her father only increased her fears.
Please, Dad.
She prayed to the sky.
Come back now.
I'm here. Fluttershy jumped up and turned to see her father smiling at her. Fluttershy beamed and gripped him in a bear hug. It's a little worse for wear. His breathing was hoarse and his lower body was covered in dirt. Oh, Fluttershy, can't breathe!
Oh, sorry.
Fluttershy said. She let go and backed away to give him some air.
Did you lose the dragon?
Firewing nodded sharply. Yeah, I gave it a sip. Made it think we're heading east. Either way, we won't see that dragon again. Fluttershy's grin went a little wider as she hugged him again, this time a little less tight. She barked away and made to give him back his sword. But Firewing stopped her with a gentle touch of her hoof. Keep it. It's yours now. as it should be. Firewing could see the hesitation in her eyes and chuckled. Don't worry, I got the axe, so I should be able to look after myself. Fireside smiled, and realized her husband to place it.
Okay then, where do we go now?
We get out of here. Head is planned. Ready?
Of course.
Fireside replied, flaming smiles as the two made their way up the steep slope and out away from the burning woodland.
So, at night, when Piggy was standing guard, when the others were supposedly asleep, I got to the carriage and took a quick, tiny bite of the cake, hoping I didn't leave a large chunk in it, and Piggy wouldn't notice.
Fireside said, they two had been continuing their tales of misadventures and, after Firewing finished his story of how he defeated the Hydra, Fireside went on to tell about the time with the cake on the train. Firewing listened with an amused expression. And did she? Fireside slumped looking at the ground and nodded.
The next morning he was found with 3 huge chunks taken out of it. He and Twilight carried out an investigation into who done it, and, as Pinky put it, later, when Lendigo's eye, Rainbow, and Rarity, and later Applejack had the best layer, they took bites out of the cake, while the bakers were responsible for eating each other's. We all apologized and were forgiven.
So, who won the cake competition in the end?
Oh, Pinky did.
Firewing's face furrowed and confusion seemingly on.
Pinky and the bakers were able to put together a cake model out of all their entries. They won first prize, and as thanks, the other bakers let Pinky keep all their prize money.
So, all's well that ends well then. Firewing said with a small smile. Fireside nodded.
Still feel bad though. Pinky did comfort me afterwards, saying, "Don't worry about it anymore. She was still my friend and wouldn't hear any more of it. But I still think about how stupid I was."
Firewing moved closer, put a hoof around her shoulders. You're a pony, my child. Like every pony on Terra, are capable of doing stupid things. It's called learning, sweetheart. So don't work yourself over it. That goes for some of you idiots out there, too! You know who you are! Pause for a moment before adding, I have to say, I'm looking forward to meeting your friends. They sound like quite a lovely bunch. Flag, flag, flag. Hey, hey, you over there! Look down at that flag! Fireside slumped even further, and her ears went flat across her head.
You probably don't like me anymore. Probably won't even want to see my face again.
Now what makes you say such a thing? What's that side? Fireside explained.
When I went after you, my friends came with me. When we got to the trots, and there I learned the dangers of horsecat for all of us. To save them, I dragged my friends and left them to sleep there, while I headed off my own to the horsecat to find you.
There was an eerie, unnerving silence coming from Firewing. Fireside took her eyes off the ground and looked up, expecting to see an angry scowl and a verbal telling off of what she did. Instead, she got a comforting nuzzle and a smile from her father. So that's what you meant when you said last night you did something similar. Fireside gave a small nod. Firewing chuckled. I wouldn't worry about it, my child. For the sound of your friends, they are a loving, forgiving bunch. Will forgive you instantly. Wouldn't be surprised if they were already forgiven you. He looked up and around them. Heck, I wouldn't be even surprised if they were out there in Horsecar, looking for you. Josiah's eyes widened as he gave him a little smile.
You think so?
Your friends clearly love you, care deeply about you to have wanted to come with you on this trip. I'm sure when you see them again, there'll be hugs and tears of joy to be had. Percy looked back to the ground and smiled. They never blamed her for the parasite attack. Pinky instantly forgave her for eating some of the cake, and several of the other things she thought she didn't deserve forgiveness for. But every time she was forgiven, and every time, she felt their friendship grow a little stronger. She began to feel assured he would see her again, maybe give her another chance. She just had to wait and see. Firewing pondered as he looked in front. Seems to me like a dead end. Firestone looked up, and saw that Firewing was looking at. This emerged from the woods and were now at a large cliff and steep of a ship's bow, albeit roughly. Ahead of them, though, sheer natural beauty presented itself. From their vantage point, they could see the country horsecut stretched out before them. The land was dotted with rivers, forests, hills, and mountains, while small clouds of snow white littered the sky. darkening some of the country below. Fluttershy, stand back. I'm going to see if I can find a way down. Firewing said, with not agreement for Fluttershy. He stepped forward, his eyes wandering across the landscape before him. Once he could paint, then he could get a canvas and some brushes and start painting. Fluttershy watched as her father walked up to the cliff edge, scanning the landscape before him. Probably looking for a path, she thought, before looking over the cliff face to the ground below.
Is there a way down?
Fluttershy inquired, but she received no response. Firewing was standing perfectly still, looking at the ground below the cliff intensely. The butterflies in Fluttershy began to flare up again as he took a step closer.
Dad, you okay?
Firewing looked up, turned his head to face her, and gave her a comforting smile. Fluttershy, my daughter, the only thing I care for in this world. I just want you to know that I am so proud of you, and I love you, always. Fluttershy gave a blissful smile and took another step forward. That moment, time slowed to a near standstill. She watched forward, and blinked when it opened her eyes again. The dragon was behind her father, reaching out to grab him with sharp teeth. Fluttershy blinked again. The dragon had Firewing in its jaws, hunted him down hard, peeling him with his long teeth. Soared off to the sky with Firewing in its mouth, leaving a wide-eyed, horrified Fluttershy. While her mind was trying to tell her what had just happened, her heart was trying to tell her it didn't happen. She slowly turned it around, watched in horror as her father, the other thing she had in her world that was family, was hurled into the air by the dragon and disappeared on the other side of the trees. Fluttershy screamed. No! No! No, Fick! No! You will not take another one from me! I will not let this happen! You took away Crescent Rose! You took away some of my other favorite OCs! But not this one! You're not taking Fluttershy's dad! For the order! No! You monster! You monster, Thick! How dare you take another good OC! Why? Why must always the good ones die? Hey guys, quiet for a minute. Rainbow hushed the other ponies below her. They're going through the tunnel of a small castle built into the mountains. Rainbow, Pinky, Twilight, Applejack, Rary, and Throa, and arrived in a lush, rocky paradise that was the Horskin Highlands. That is, it was paradise. Until Rainbow heard something. What is it, Rainbow? Twilight asked. Her ears pricked right up as she tried to hear what Rainbow heard. Can you hear that? Rainbow inquired, going pale, her heart rate racing as she went a little faster. Well, the ponies all heard it too. I guess as the sound of the scream echoed across the land. Sounded like Fluttershy, Rainbow declared once it stopped. Sounds like she's in pain. Go on then, Thor whinnied, pointing to a path leading up and down again across the hills. The scream comes to this way. Let's go! Rainbow, however, was already gone. She soared to the sky and raced off to the direction of her friend's aimless cries. She couldn't wait for the others. Her oldest friend was in trouble. She wasn't going to let her down again. Her hose ached, but she didn't care. She just ran faster. She felt the sting of cuts and scratches on her body from the brushes and plants she raced through. But again, she didn't care. She felt tears in her eyes, but she wasn't going to cry. She was going to find her father first. Then she was going to save him. Dang straight, we're going to save him! First, I looked up and saw the dragon hovering over her head. Her father was thrown down. She grit her teeth together in anger. She stared at the dragon. She wasn't going to let this monster take her father, nor was she going to get away with what he just did. She felt the thud of the dragon landing beyond the clearing in front of her, galloped even faster, ready to give it a piece of her mind. She came through another bush and emerged into a flat clearing that was surrounded by forest. Fluttershy's body was covered in cuts, and marks where sharp twigs grabbed her coat. While blood flowed from the cuts, she didn't care to take notice of the pain. She just stared hard at what was in front of her. Her father was laying on his side, covered in blood, huge marks on his body where the teeth of the dragon had dug in. It was a miracle he was still breathing, but just barely. It was looking with wide, pained eyes, the dragon in front of him, staring at him with malevolent intent. And now, it said, I will feast on your flesh. Fluttershy's teeth gritted together even harder. She became mere dots as her anger was at the point of exploding. She cried out and began to gallop forward, straight for the dragon and her father. She made her way in front of the winged beast, spun around, and bucked with all her strength at the dragon's open teeth, shattering one completely. The dragon reared up in pain and howled, holding the claw and tooth was. Leave him alone! Fluttershy reared up and pointed Drade's bait at the dragon, while the arrow was pointing towards the ground. I will kill you if you touch him! The dragon sneered and lowered itself onto all fours, snarling at the Pegasus who had just annihilated a tooth. Do not come between Heimdall and his prey, it said. Fluttershy felt all the courage leave her at the mention of his name. She glared back down on all fours and bent away from her. You're, Heimdall! The dragon nodded, sneering all the while. How can you be here? Heimdall laughed. The dragon didn't even sound like the monster she met in Fergana. You still don't know how I managed to destroy your pathetic order. How I managed to destroy Andalusia. How I managed to unlock the abilities you had from birth. By controlling others? Heimdall laughed once again. Silly fool. This body is merely a puppet. It has been dead for some time, quite like how your father will be soon. Fluttershy shook her head, raised her right leg, presenting Drade's way up. You're not going to get my father! I'd rather die before you touch him again! Heimdall laughed once more, spread his bat-like wings. Your father will not survive his wounds, Fluttershy Firewing. But I wouldn't worry about that, 'cause soon you'll be joining him, and this time I can touch you. He raised the claw, brought it down where Fluttershy was standing. The Pegasus quickly hopped out of the way where the claw was going to land. Instead of being crushed in the titanic size of the claw, instead dirt thrown in her face. She raised her right leg and lunged forward, sending Drade's blade into the claw of the dragon, cried out in pain. Fluttershy pulled away and began to gallop back out of the clearing, Heimdall on her tail. Fluttershy looked back and saw her father watching with proud eyes. I'll be back, she called to him. I promise. Heimdall spread his wings and let out a roar that echoed across the Horseland Highlands, taking to the air, soaring after Fluttershy. You can run, Fluttershy Firewing, but you can't hide. Fluttershy galloped back to the woods, hoping that the high trees would keep her safe from Heimdall's claws. She just needed to get Heimdall away from her father, and lose it so she could tend to his grievous wounds. She didn't want to believe that monster, that Firewing was not going to live. She couldn't. Fluttershy looked up and saw Heimdall directly above her. He was reached down in a powerful thrust forward, so now he was ahead of the Pegasus. He wheeled about to face her, lowered himself until he was above one of the trees, placed his claws onto it, and with a tiny ounce of strength, pushed the tree towards Fluttershy in the hope of crushing her. Fluttershy's eyes widened as she saw this, and turned to look at her wings. Don't let me down now, she said to him. She spread her wings and shot upwards, barely missing the tree clouds as she did so, flew to the clouds. Heimdall looked up, gasped in surprise as he watched Fluttershy quickly disappear into the clouds. He flapped his wings once more and took off after her. Before he could get to her, she was gone, disappearing into a large cloud formation. Fluttershy looked behind her, hoping not to see Heimdall on her tail. She knew she couldn't outfly him, but she could deceive him. He could think she was faster than he was. She landed on a large cloud and began digging into it. Pushing bits off of the cloud, there was a hole big enough for her to squeeze in and hide from Heimdall's gaze. She dived into the hole, squeezing herself into a ball, throwing out some of the cloud over her to help her in disguise. She waited for him to appear. Breathing was quick. Eyes was wide as he moved across the skyline, expecting Heimdall to reappear. Slowly, menacingly, he emerged in front of her, making her go lower into the cloud and start to shake in fear. She held a hoof over her mouth to stop a shriek, began praying to Celestia and Luna she would not be seen. Heimdall hovered there, he said, slowly turning around for any sign of the weak Pegasus. He roared in anger upon not finding. She disappeared from existence altogether. I know you're here somewhere, Fluttershy Firewing. I know you won't forsake your dear, precious father over your own life. I will find you, And when I do, I will feast on your still beating heart! Heimdall roared before heading away from Fluttershy. Fluttershy watched as Heimdall flew away from her and her father. He disappeared from view altogether, the clouds covering his movements. She blew a sigh of relief and got the little hole she dug for herself and set off to race over her father, hoping she wasn't too late. Fluttershy! The voice of the yellow Pegasus thought she would never hear again called out. She stopped and looked where the voice came from. She squinted her eyes as the figure of a flying Pegasus pony emerged from the clouds. A beam of sunlight at the newcomer's back.
Rainbow?
She called out in disbelief, eyes widening at who she was looking at. First she thought she was hearing things, but no. Rainbow Dash was hovering in front of her, large grin on her face, chest rising and falling fast. She was so busy looking at Rainbow, she didn't notice that Heimdall flew right beside her from one of the clouds. Before Rainbow could cry out a warning, he raised it to a claw and smashed it into Fluttershy with a sweeping motion.